Okay, everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to integrate Atropos JS in your web application. And what is Atropos JS? Atropos JS is a JavaScript library for creating a 3D parallax over effect. Alright, so let's check it out. What is the over effect? Now, if I over this container now, as you can see the effect. I see the effect. If I over the second container, see the effect. But you should note the difference. There's a difference between this container and this container. But it's a cool stuff anyway. Alright, see this one. So alright, so this is what Atropos JS allows you to do. 3D parallax over effect that you can use to build build a beautiful gallery, image gallery, and exhibition gallery, and things like that. Okay, so let's go to the full tutorial. And before we go to the full tutorial, please, if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel yet, please do subscribe. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so Atropos JS. This is the official website of Atropos JS. Alright, so the index of the website, if you should check it, you see how cool the stuff is. So let's come down and check the examples that are here. We are also going to be creating things like this. Also going to be using it to create things like this. Okay, and all these things like this. And I'm going to explain to you how all these things are made, how all these stuff they were made, how the effect, how the Marvel Studios is at the back, and Spider-Man at the middle, and this at the front. Okay, now let's go to the documentation. This is the documentation. Okay, so this is the documentation. Now this is how to install the Atropos JS. Just copy this and paste it in your command prompt. If you have Node.js installed, so it's going to install Atropos JS for you. Yeah, and if you come down here, you see how to include the style and how to import, or if you want to import the CSS. And also this is the HTML layout. Okay, before we talk about the HTML layout, let me just point out some things. Alright, so if you install after installing the Atropos JS, this is what is going to be in the Atropos directory, the Atropos directory. Alright, and the only two files that we need is just this atropos.min and .js and .css. Alright, so and this is the project, this is the tutorial folder, and I've created a directory named Atropos, and I've copied these two files into it. Okay, so let's go back to the browser, and the next thing is, let's just copy this layout, because all these things are required. And let's go to the code now. This is just a simple layout of the HTML. This Atropos container does nothing than just a layout, just a normal layout. We've come to the CSS here, and the Atropos is just width 100% and displaying flex. Alright, so that's just it. There's nothing special about it. Okay, so I'm going to put the Atropos JS here. Alright, the browser is going to be reloading automatically by itself because I'm using live server. Okay, so if I should save it now, it's going to reload automatically by itself. Alright, now the next thing is to to initialize the Octopus because we are using core. We are not using React or Vue. We are using core. So this is what we need. So let's just copy this and go to our index.js and paste it here. Alright, all these things here, they are just parameters. So let me just copy it from here and put it in the Octopus. Okay. Alright. So now our Octopus has been initialized. Now if I should, before we save it, let's go to the browser. I can see there's nothing here now. Now if we should save everything now and go back to the browser, you don't see anything still because we haven't put anything inside this container, this Octopus inner container. Now first thing, let's put an image element, an image here, and I have images here. So let me first of all put the bike images of bike 0, then style. Let me put the style with 100%. Okay, so now let's save it and let's go to the browser to take a look at it. All right. I think there's a slight mistake here. The Octopus is working, but okay, I forgot this. There's a CSS that I'm supposed to put, which is the des Octopus. It is the CSS that I wrote for all the Octopus. Okay, so this is the CSS styling that I'm using for all the Octopuses. Alright, let's go to the browser. Alright, the style has been corrected. Now if I move my mouse over the container now, let's see, I can see the cool effect, the cool stuff. Alright, so there are a lot of parameters that we can pass in to customize it. Rotate lock. Now if you want to lock the rotation, the rotate, let's check what the rotate lock does. Okay, the rotate lock in the documentation is when enabled, it won't rotate the container until pointer move out of original entered quarter. So that's the function of the rotate lock. All right, next thing is rotate max in x and y direction. The default for the rotation in x and y direction is 15, but if you want to change it, we can actually change it to like let's change it to 75. Now if you should move the mouse, I can see it's now rotating very well now. So that's that. And okay, let me just comment it out because I don't think we need it. And shadow, if you want to disable the shadow, if you want to add shadow, I think there was no shadow there before. Yeah, let's check it. There was shadow, but if you want to disable the shadow, you just pass in false. As it. Just pass in false for the shadow, so there won't be shadow there anymore. Okay, and shadow offset. If you want to change the shadow offset, the shadow offset will take effect if we should. You see the effect of the shadow offset. We should increase the rotate max. Okay, let me do this. Okay, I haven't saved it yet. Let me save it. Okay, shadow first. Okay, we've disabled the shadow. Right, we've disabled the shadow. We've disabled the shadow. I can see there's no more shadow there now. Okay, and shadow offset. Let's just enable the shadow. And the shadow offset also. Okay, let me see. And the shadow offset. Shadow offset is 10 for now. And let's increase it to like, let's say 50. I can see the offset has increased. The shadow offset has increased. And shadow scale also. If you want to increase the shadow scale, let's say it's going to be to 5. It's going to be very, very large now. Just showing the effects like a ghost effect. Okay, that's the shadow scale. And highlight force, duration enter. Let's just change it to, let's set it to, let's say 1 second. And let's save it. And let's take it back. Okay, that's it. And active offset. Active offset, that's if we move the mouse over it, it's going to scale to like 60%, 60 pixel. Let's just increase it. Let me add 1 at the back. Let me increase it to like, let's give it 360. I can see. Let's increase it again to like 560. So it will be very, very easy. So that's but the moderate one is just 60. Just set it to 60. Or the default. Set it to default. Let's set it to default. Alright, so that's default. Okay. Now let's return this back to a reasonable stuff. The default 15 pixel. Okay, so now let's start the other stuff also. Now let's try to do the stuffs we saw on the home page, which is here. Stuff we saw on the home page, which is all this stuff here. All right. Now the next thing I'm going to add here is a div with the class of, I already wrote the CSS here, class of text over. There's no special stuff about the style of the text over, other than just position absolute, just to be absolutely free at the top, and bottom 90 pixel, left 30 pixel, color white, bold, font weight of bold, font size of 180, and impact as the font. Okay, so all right, so it's just text. Let's say bike and brake. Let's say rider, bike rider. Okay, we should come here now. As you can see, this is the bike rider. The text is now on top of the container now. As you can see, text is now on top of the container. Text is now at the top here now. Now let's create another. What if we want to create multiple Atropos JS in our web app? Okay, let's create another one. I'm just going to copy this current one now. Copy it and move it to the next line. And I'm going to create another one. Let's say my second Octopus. I'm going to be doing the same thing here. my second Atropos. Alright, so now that has been initialized also. And let's go back. We're going to see the second Atropos, as you can see, but there's an error because this constant we cannot create a variable, a constant variable with the same name. So this is what's causing the error. Let me just say second Atropos, my second Atropos. Okay. Now it should work. Alright, I can see this one too has now been initialized. Okay, but this I'm going to be using another image. Which is car. Let me use cars 4. Let me use cars 4. Okay, and car driver. Let's say race. Let's say car driver. But I'm going to be doing another thing here. There's another CSS here that I can use. That's text over 2. I'm going to see the effect just in a moment. And let me move this. This one is going to be text over 2. Let me save it. And let's go. As you can see now, they are now separate elements. They are now separate now. Now there's a way. There's another thing in Atropos JS at the bottom here. So it is the offset, which is explained here. The offset, the offset with the element with the least offset will be at the back. Will appear behind the scene. It will make it appear behind the scene, and the offset of 0, it will not move. It will just be static and move with the element. It will move with the parent element. But with the offset of 5, or the one that is next, it will move. The element with positive offset will move in the same direction, making it appear in front of the scene. So it will move in the same direction as the parent element. And the Atropos, this one, it will move in reverse direction to the Atropos element. Okay, so let's just copy one of these, and I'm going to come here. I'm going to apply the Atropos offsets -5 to the image here. I'm going to apply it to the image here also, offset, and I'm going to apply offset of 0 to this. Okay, so I've given that the offset, this offset of -5, and this offset of 0, and this also offset of -5, and I'm not giving this offset yet. Now let's go check it out. Yeah, let's go check it out. Let me just save it. And alright, so I can see the image now has an offset of -1, is now appearing as if it is at the back of the as if it is in the background, and the back rider text is now appearing as if it is at the top. Now you can see. Okay, now and this one also, the car is appearing as if it is at the back, and this car rider text is still not moving yet, because we've not yet added the data offset. So I'm going to give it offset of 0. The car, I'll give it offset of 0. And let me save it. Yeah, saved it. Okay, so the car text now has the offset of 0 now. Now has the offset of 0. And the rider, let's give the rider 5 offset was 5. Let's go to the browser and reload. Okay, alright, it's already reloading for us. Alright, and as you can see, the car text is appearing as if it is at the back, and the rider is appearing as if it is at the front of the car. Let's give it a little bit of, let's give the bottom, the text over 2 a little bit of, to be at the top a little bit. Let's give it 70, and let's save it so that it will be at the top. Okay, let's remove it a bit and give it like 65. Okay, let's give it 60 instead. Alright, so that you'll be able to see the effect of the rider at the top of the car. You can see the rider is appearing as if it's at the top of the car, and the car is appearing as if it's at the back. Okay, so let's create one more Atropos. So I'm just going to copy this one and put it down. Okay, so I'm going to say my third Atropos. First of all, I'll have to create another third. Okay, I don't need to touch the CSS now. It is the JavaScript I'm going to touch. My third Octopus. Okay, so let me change this to third. Alright, so that has been initialized, and let's save this too. And let's go to the browser. The third one has been created, and I'm going to use another image instead. And let me use by 2 instead. Let me use by 2 or out. Okay, let me use out 8. Out 8. Okay, just want to save it and go back to the browser and make it reload. Alright, the out. Now this is the out. Can see. Okay. And there's another stuff here. There's another cool stuff here that we can use, is data Atropos opacity. Data Atropos opacity. The first number here indicates the element initial state, and the last one here indicates the element last state. Okay, let's just use that creatively here. I'm going to say building, if there's anything like that. Okay, let's just say beautiful building, and this is going to have the data the opacity of 0.1, and it will end in 0.8. Why this one will have the opacity of 0.5 to 1. Okay, let's save it. Go to the browser. Now it has loaded. And okay, now I can see the opacity of the beautiful is now, I think the house is not that beautiful anyway. Let me change it to house 5. That's 5. Okay, now this building is beautiful. Alright. Now you can also change the text to blue just to fit. Say, just want to do this quickly. Style, color, blue. Okay. Alright. I can see the opacity is now. Let's just change it to color white. Let's leave it at color white, and let's take that. Okay, let's see. Okay, I can see the opacity is changing, and the building opacity also is changing. Alright. Okay, so you can use this Atropos. As you can see, it's very cool and easy to integrate. Very cool and easy to integrate. Just few parameters, and you've got all up and running. And you can use it to create like a gallery stuff. You can use it to create a cool gallery image. Use it to create cool gallery image or exhibition images and all those stuff. So this is Atropos, and a very cool library. Yeah, so you can customize it to your own state. You can customize it to your own taste and use it in your own state taste. So okay, so if you like this tutorial, just give it a thumb up, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It motivates me to do more cool tutorials like this. And if you don't like it, just give it a thumb down and tell me the reason why you don't like it. Alright, thank you for watching. See you in the next tutorial.